See if you can spot the problem here. We've got Camilla Harris speaking to the International Space Station, I believe last week, might have been the week before. But she can ask a question to one of the astronauts here, and as we're about to see, well, I'm not going to give it away, see if you can spot the problem. Take it away, Camilla.
Can you share, for those who have not been on the International Space Station, how does it impact your view of Earth when you've had that experience? Does it change your view of Earth and your perception of who we are, who live on Earth?
Now, matey boy on the left, who happens to be actually our mate Bob Hines, who gave away the location of one of the sets these clowns pretend to be in space with a month or so ago. So we'll check Bob out once again before we go. But pay particular, well, just watch Bob and see if you can see the problem.
Oh man, that's a great question, and I think it's something that we all share up here. You know, one of the unique perspectives that we have here.
Did you spot it? Let's come back again.
Oh man, that's a great question, and I think it's something that we all share up here. You know, one of the unique perspectives that we have here is to see Earth.
Yeah, whatever. So if you spotted it, good on you. Watch the interaction between Bob's hand and the microphone cable here. I've slowed it down and it's on loop, but you'll see the obvious problems very shortly. Bob's hand at points goes straight through that cable. Again, highlighting special effects problems, namely green screens and augmented reality, which these people interact with as well. And as a result, you get things like this: people's hands passing seemingly through cables, or Victor with a camera a year ago passed a camera seemingly through a steel bar. Obviously that's not happening. That's special effects meltdowns. At Bob's hand, Bob doesn't have the ability to put his hand through a cable there. As great as that would be, Bob hasn't got that ability. Like I say, it's a special effects issue here with NASA and some of the technology they use to get naive individuals to believe in space and the globe. And of course, let's not forget what Bob's already done as far as damage for the ISS and of course the globe by giving the game away as far as where this silly charade takes place. I mean, I like Bob. Not only has he got a hand that seemingly can go through cables and wires, but he likes to give away the location of the International Space Station charade stroke set in which they pretend to be in a weightless environment. Take it away, Bob.
Houston is called Space City because NASA's Johnson Space Center is the home of human spaceflight. We design the missions, train the crews, and orchestrate the flights from right here in Houston. Houston was the first to receive words from the surface of the moon, and the next giant leap will also start right here in Houston.
That's twice. Bob said right here in Houston. Problem is, Bob, you're supposed to be on a space station hurtling around the ball. But you said right there in Houston. I think you were giving away the stage, one of the stages in which this charade takes place. Green screens, harnesses, augmented reality and all the other tosh that gets thrown in, like I say, to convince naive individuals that reality is exactly the opposite to what can be tested and verified by all. But as Bob's quite clearly stated there, he's on the space station, but he's right there in Houston. Nice one, Bob. And let's not forget Bob's talent with his hand having the ability seemingly to go right through cables. You gotta love it when these clowns expose themselves. Thanks, Bob.